Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wondered if learning from a computer could actually make you smarter? Today we're diving into a fascinating study about humans learning with an AI buddy. Imagine you are trying to solve a tricky puzzle like figuring out secret rules. What if you had a little helper, a bot, providing suggestions along the way? Would it speed up your learning or get in your way? That is the big question this research team set out to answer. They created a game called the Game of Hidden Rules, or GORE. Think of it like this: you've got lots of colored shapes, and you need to sort them into different buckets. But there is a secret rule, and you have to figure out what it is by trial and error. For example, maybe all red shapes go in bucket 0, or maybe the order you put the shapes in matters. So in this study, people played this game, some played it totally alone, and others had a bot that offered helpful hints. The cool thing is, people didn't have to listen to the bot. They could take its advice or just ignore it, and guess what they found? Even though people didn't always follow the bot's advice, the folks who had the bot were much faster at figuring out the hidden rules. This effect was especially strong for people who weren't doing as well. For those who were already great at the game, the bot didn't make as much of a difference. They also played around with how fast the bot seemed to learn. And it turns out, the faster the bot seemed to learn and offer better suggestions, the more it helped the human learner. So, the main takeaway is that having a learning partner, even a digital one, can really boost how quickly we learn new things. Now, this idea of humans and AI learning together has been around for a while, but with fancy new AI tools like chatbots, it is becoming a really hot topic. Researchers are looking at all sorts of questions like, do people trust AI advice more or less than human advice? Does it help if the AI explains why it is giving a certain suggestion? And how should AI teachers repeat lessons to make sure we actually learn them? This section really gets into the idea of co-learning, which is basically learning as a team with humans and AI. It can involve robots or just text chats. In this study, they focused on a simple type of co-learning, a human trying to solve a problem with an AI bot that is trying to solve it at the same time. The bot had all the same information as the human and could offer suggestions. The big question was, do humans find this advice useful? How much do they use it, and who benefits the most? Let's talk more about the cool game they used. The Game of Hidden Rules, or GORE, is designed to be fair to both humans and AI, meaning they both get the same information. In the game, you have to put these colored shapes into one of 4 buckets in the corners. Each move you make is either good or bad, and you get feedback like a happy face or a sad face. The goal is to figure out the secret rule behind it all. As mentioned, rules could be simple, like all red shapes go in bucket 1, or really complicated like rules involving the order you pick things up. The clever part is that this game can be played by a human or an AI, making it perfect for comparing how they learn. In their experiments, they had people play these GORE games. They had a helper bot that would suggest moves like try moving piece E to bucket number 3. I am 31% confident in this suggestion. How did they measure success? Well, they counted how many moves it took for a participant to solve a rule. Solving meant they made 10 correct moves in a row. The fewer moves it took, the better they performed. It is important to note that the bot they used in this study wasn't a super advanced AI. It was more like a smart program that knew the right answer, but sometimes pretended not to. This allowed them to control exactly how often it gave good advice, sort of like controlling its intelligence. And learning speed, they wanted to see how a bot that learns at a human-like pace, or even faster or slower, would affect the human learner. They did this with a few different types of rules. Some they thought were easier, and some they thought were harder. And here is what they found in experiment 1A. People with bot assistance took way fewer moves to solve the game. We're talking about a 43% reduction in the number of moves. That is a huge improvement. But the most interesting part was how it affected different people. They split the participants into 2 groups based on how well they performed overall high performance and low performance. The results were pretty dramatic. The bot helped the low-performance subjects a lot. In fact, these learners with the bot did almost as well as the high-performance learners who played without any bot help. It was like the bot helped bridge the gap between the stronger and weaker learners. High-performing subjects, on the other hand, weren't affected as much. It suggests that when you are really struggling, a good guide can make a huge difference. People actually ended up following the bot's suggestions about 40% of the time. What is also interesting is that higher performing subjects tended to follow the bot's advice slightly more often than lower performing subjects. which might seem a bit counterintuitive, but perhaps they were better at judging when the bot was likely right. When the bot gave bad advice, people tended to stop following its suggestions for a little while afterward, but they eventually started trusting it again. And at the end of the game, when people felt like they understood the rule, they actually stopped taking the bot's advice and figured it out on their own, showing they truly learned. Experiment 1B was just a repeat of 1A, but with different rules, and the results were almost identical. Bot assistants helped, especially the weaker learners. Then they did experiment 2A, where the bot was made to look smarter, meaning it learned faster. And the results were similar, but some effects were even stronger. The faster bot provided even more benefit, especially to the weaker learners. Experiment 2B had a dumber bot, one that learned slower. This bot still helped, but not as much as the faster bot. This showed that the intelligence or speed of the AI assistant does matter. The smarter the bot, the greater the benefit. Overall, this study gives us some really valuable insights into how AI can help us learn. First, bot assistance speeds up learning significantly, cutting down the time it takes to master new rules. Second, this boost is most helpful for those who are struggling the most, potentially leveling the playing field. Third, people tend to use the bot's advice, but also know when to rely on their own understanding, especially when they figured things out. And finally, a smarter, faster learning AI assistant seems to be a more effective tutor. Now, there are some limitations. The study used a pseudobot, which wasn't a true AI that could understand a person's mental state or truly partner with them. It was more like a helpful hint giver. So we can't say for sure if a real AI would work exactly the same way. Maybe people would trust it more, or maybe less. The researchers are also curious about future work. How can we make AI assistants even better? Can we figure out which learners will benefit most beyond just strong or weak? And can we create AI bots that can be fine-tuned for each individual learner? These are important questions for making sure AI in the workplace truly benefits humans. So, what is the big picture here? While the study didn't use a cutting-edge AI, it gave us a really good look at how helpful real-time assistants can be. The fact that even a dumbed-down bot helps so much is super promising for the future of AI as a learning tool. It suggests that hints from effective AI could genuinely make us better learners. What do you think? Could having an AI study buddy help you learn a new skill faster? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown interesting, please hit that like button, subscribe to Rubin's Mind Lab for more science stories, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.